Welcome back to Liberty Tree Gaming. We are picking up right where we left off, coming out of Troskowitz after stealing the document, which let's take a look at that, see if we can read it here. Yes, Offer of Hermes Trismegistos. Strange list of raw materials for Miller Kreyzl, which is spelled differently here. Interesting. Yeah, so that's what we did last time. We lugged some sacks around, and then Miller Kreyzl asked us to come get this document that he hopes explains how to transmute matter into energy. Which that's easy to do. All you have to do is make things explode. That's how you transmute matter into energy. Specifically, you can make it burn, or you could do like a fission or a fusion, and you get lots of energy out of a little bit of matter. What is that? That's a new banner there, so I think I'm probably in trouble in this area. And that's because we snuck into the rat house and stole the documents and got caught. Well, not caught with the documents, but caught sneaking in the rat house. And we managed to convince the guard to let us go by pulling our persuasion card for nobility. Do you know who I am? I'm Henry of Skalitz. So let's look at the reputation here. Yeah, men at arms. 0. Yeah, they're gonna get us. They're gonna hate us if we get caught. So, we need to get out of here, and we're gonna do that in just a sec. I did decide to put on another mod, actually 2. So I did one that should hopefully smooth the cutscenes out, because we were getting like 20 FPS in some of the cutscenes, and it just looked terrible. So I'll put that in place, and we'll see if that helps out. And then I added on a mod to reduce or remove the weight of crafting materials, or herbs, really. So I'm always picking these up, and I can't stand having to deal with encumbrance issues. So that's just a little bit of a quality of life, and it'll make it a little bit easier to watch probably on YouTube. The other one was for books. So just to reduce these books to 0 weight. Yeah, they're books, they're heavy, but come on. So that's what I'm running with right now. I'm gonna try to ride at night to get out of here as fast as possible. Oh, hello, horse. And which way to go? So if I just like do fast travel, I'm gonna ride straight into town, so I don't want to do that. Down by the road, we're gonna set a marker over this way, and we'll go from there. So come on, Pebbles, let's go. I still have the effects of the Nighthawk potion that I drank earlier, so that's why we can see, and the sky's kind of purple. Which that potion was very helpful. Wouldn't be able to see anything without that. Okay, there's see that glow over there? That's a guard, probably. But I don't think I've ever seen a guard riding a horse. Oh. All of a sudden it's raining or snowing? It's interesting. Go. Go, go, go. Maybe this is just how it looks with this potion on. Okay, can I fast travel now? Let's see. Let's look at the journal, see what it says here. Yeah, okay, so just bring the document back. Guess I ought to actually do the fast travel instead of just talking about it. So let's go there. Maybe our potion will last all night. Very good. We made it. We survived. All right, Miller.
God bless.
Yeah, you too.
Dead man had been floating down the river for at least a week without anyone noticing. Exactly. And that's not all. The dead man had a gold chain around his neck.
Good day to you.
Someone bumped him off and didn't even rob him.
I have that document from the rat house for you.
Excellent. I knew I could count on you.
Judging by the contents, it seems like you're dabbling in alchemy here at the mill.
That's not a bad guess. But don't forget about astrology, theurgy, transmutation, and a smidgen of demonology. Although that's something anyone with a grain of sense should avoid. Now show it to me, so I can finally get the knowledge. Good. Good. This will come in handy. Ah, yes. Of course.
What now?
That much? We're going to need more. A lot more.
Did you hear me? What now?
Sorry. I got lost in thought. I owe you my thanks as well as reward for getting me the document. And maybe another little job? What do you say?
Don't tell me you've forgotten. I need to get to that wedding in Semin.
Don't worry. Your path is leading that way. Only it'll be a little longer than expected.
Are you kidding?
Are you yanking my pizzle?
Not at all. I'll get you to the wedding as sure as the heavens are above me, and the fire of the Creator is within me. But you'll have to wait a while. Besides, things are about to get really interesting. Step by step, we're moving closer to the great revelation.
Enough. I'm sick of listening to your cryptic blabbering. Supposing you first initiate me into the mysteries of your enchanting mill. This isn't any run-of-the-mill business, so to speak. I smell something devilish here.
Devilish? Not at all. You guessed it. It's nothing less than high learning. Alchemy! And when I say alchemy, I mean real alchemy. Not some hocus-pocus brewing of potions for creaky joints and bellyache.
Tell me more about it, then. Maybe I'll learn something useful.
I suppose. You are my apprentice, after all. You deserve to know what all of this is leading to. Now, pay close attention. I want to make a golem out of dough. Then, using secret alchemical practices and theurgy, bring him to life.
Okay. You're gonna make a doughboy?
A golem, you say? Isn't that a kind of pie? What are you going to do with a living pie?
Henry, a golem is a helper brought to life using divine words. A living statue endowed with massive strength. Can be made of clay, wood, stone, Basically anything. I'll make one out of flour. Studying the Jewish cabals taught me a practice known as Maseh Bereshit. A mystic can use it to imitate the work of God. Just imagine. You know how helpful a golem would be at the mill? Carrying sacks, pulling wagons, standing guard. He wouldn't be much smarter than Zinek, but he'd have the strength of 10 men.
My word. That sounds incredible. I have to see it.
So far, it's just all in my head. But if you're patient and help me, you'll see soon enough. It's in the interest of the advancement and prosperity of mankind. Just look at the Bible. Moses could command the waters and speak to God through the element of fire. And Jesus brought the dead back to life. I've no doubt that if our great Holy Mother Church had been around at the time, they'd have crucified Jesus the same as the Pharisees. And all the apostles would have been burned at the stake.
So a golem, you say, made of flour? For the good of mankind?
Exactly!
And what about the good of me? You promised me a reward.
You already know that you can learn the practical application of certain useful skills from me. But for a few groschen, we could discuss the art on a more, let's say, theoretical level.
I'm overwhelmed with gratitude. Supposing you give me a few groschen first, as a reward for bringing you the document, and then I'll decide whether to trade the coin for some learning.
Oh, see now, I completely forgot. Here you go. So you don't go around saying that Miller Kreyzl is a pinch purse. I added in what I owe for those sacks you carried. And if you want some more work, there's plenty.
Oh, wow. So we got a book. We got some training. All right, well, let's learn about some more work.
What's this next job all about?
I need to find a saltpeter pit.
Never a wasted word, eh, Kreyzl?
Short and to the point. That's my credo.
And how long will it take before you tell me what a saltpeter pit is?
A saltpeter pit is a pit in which saltpeter is formed.
Saltpeter is niter, that I know. They're white crystals similar to salt. But I have no idea what you might need it for here at the mill. Or is it supposed to be some peculiar Kreyzl wedding gift for young Semine?
Nothing of the sort. The Kabbalistic doctrine speaks of saltpeter as a vessel for the inexhaustible essence of life. Those white crystals are said to contain the very essence of being. That's precisely what we need to give life to our golem. Thanks to the ingredients from Hermes Trismegistos, his feet will never get tired and his fists will have the power to smash rocks. But saltpeter is the most important thing. Saltpeter will be the golem's heart.
So you're serious about this golem? And are you certain it'll work out?
Certainly. Otherwise, I wouldn't even try.
How much saltpeter will it take to bring to life such a big creature?
A lot. That's why I want you to find me a decent saltpeter pit. Do you understand?
I was hoping I'd learn something useful from you. But instead, you're making me wander around the countryside looking for some pit.
Well, you never know when an experience like that might come in handy.
All right, well, let's find it.
All right, then. I'll look around for that saltpeter pit of yours. I just hope you know where to look, that you can point me in the right direction, and also that you'll get me into that wedding as a reward.
Yes, yes, and yes. Bonnie has a lead. She's a damned handy girl to have around. She can do anything you ask of her. But for you, the most important thing is that she knows how to look for niter, or saltpeter if you prefer.
So this Bonnie, she's a dowser or something?
Bonnie is someone I trust without question, and you should too. Not only will she teach you how to find saltpeter, but also how to differentiate it from common salt. The main difference is it has kind of cooling taste.
Hold your horses. You want me to taste that nasty stuff?
If you don't taste it, you could confuse it with some nasty rot. And you don't want that.
Damn right.
Don't be such a lily liver, Henry. If Bonnie can taste saltpeter, so can you. She'll tell you the rest herself. You'll find her in the Lair. That's a secret storage space I have here just by the pond. Only my best people can get in.
Your best people. That's just another way of saying people who are wanted by the bailiff, eh?
I'll pretend I didn't hear that.
All right then. How do I get to this lair?
There's a bridge over the mill stream towards the southwest. Take the path to the left, just behind it along the pond. From that path, you turn right, uphill, between the rocks, and you'll find yourself right in front of the lair. You can't miss it. Oh, and so I don't forget. You could pick some herbs along the way to see Bonnie. It would make her very happy. She's just been through some tough times. Her dog died, and on top of that, she has to spend time with that blabbermouth, Zinek. On the other hand, Zinek might be holding his tongue for a while after his encounter with the Troskowitz stocks.
If Bonnie spends time with Zinek, she may want some spirits rather than herbs.
Bonnie? Never. Being a decent Christian, she avoids alcohol like the plague. Right along, so you're back as soon as possible.
To the lair.
Take care, friend.
Yeah, I think we went to that layer. Uh-huh. So we just learned a lot, and let's look at the journal to see what's up. Okay, so I have to find this, but we don't know where it is, and we need to talk to Bonnie to do it. In the Troskowitz region, Miller wants to use it to bring life golem made out of flour. Storehouse near Lower Semi Mill. All I need to do is walk along the southern side of the pond. Take some herbs along the way to please the accomplice. Alright then. What's my... We're gonna grab some food since we're down here.
Pardon me.
Work for now. And then I'm gonna run up here and stash the stuff that we stole, so if we get stopped by guards, which is highly likely these days, we'll be able to deal with that and not like lose our stuff.
Are you going to bake bread today?
Does it not mark it? Yeah, I think it doesn't mark stuff. Why? Oh, there it does. Okay. Alright, so yeah, that little icon indicates it was stolen. I'm going to toss that in. Give it a few days and then we can get it back out. Oh, we had some stolen lockpicks or something too. I don't notice anything else showing up. Let's check our inventory and see. Not showing up there. Alright, so probably good then. I think thought we took some of this stuff, but it's not showing up as stolen. Let's see. So we'll go with that. Now we're gonna sleep for just a minute. Yeah, we'll go there. That'll work. It should heal us, save, and get our potion effects out of the way. Because it was kind of pulsing the light in there like I was, I don't know, high on acid or something. It was kind of crazy. Let's see. Alright, Bonnie. Let's go find her. What was that? That sounded like a gunshot.
What was that noise? Woodcutters?
Yeah, pick some herbs. I mean, we gotta go check that out. No, I do reload ammunition and like to shoot, so that was totally a gunshot. And I know that saltpeter is one of the ingredients in making gunpowder or black powder. Don't know which herbs we'll need, so I'm just picking whatever I see. Let's see, what's that? Comfy. More eyebright. Gonna have so much, but luckily it doesn't weigh anything now. Lucky fine, I got a hunting bolt. And some nettle. So, looks like we can get there. Let's go by going this way. We went the other way last time, which is cool that we get to go a different way. Boy, this would take a while if I didn't have the instant herb picking mod installed. As it is, I do have it installed and it's very nice. Is that a floating stick? What kind of witchcraft is this? Let's see, can I get there by going this way? Sage, get some of that. Hey, Bonnie.
Hail!
Hail.
Good day to you.
I'm Henry, Miller Kreyzl's new apprentice. He sent me to search for a niter pit and said you might be able to help me with that.
Of course I will. I'm Bonnie. Nice to meet you.
Bonnie? It's not a name I hear often.
It's not the name I was baptized with. In our craft, it ain't a good idea to tell people your real name. That's why we use nicknames. What should we call you?
The Butcher of Vranek, the Wolf of Skalitz. The Poet. I'll go with the, go with the Poet.
The poet?
Well, that's not very creative. You know what? I'll come up with a nickname for you myself when I get to know you better. Did you bring me something from the mill?
Actually, Kreyzl said you'd appreciate some herbs.
He's right there. Do you have some for me?
I've got something here.
How much you want, lady? Let's see. Poppy? We'll do some poppies.
My word, that's exactly what I need. The ingredients for the magic ritual.
What kind of magic ritual?
The kind where Zinek finally gets some sense into his head and stops making stupid beginner's mistakes. Just so you know, that mess with the Offer of Hermes Trismegistos would never have happened to me. Not me. While we're on the subject of rituals, did Kreyzl tell you about the golem?
He did.
And what do you think of it?
I'm curious to see what a golem made of flour will look like. But I'm mostly curious to see if Kreyzl will really be able to breathe life into it with the help of saltpeter.
I'm more worried that as soon as it comes to life, it'll slay us all with one blow. So, if by some chance it looks like something's going wrong, you won't see my heels for dust. And I suggest you do the same. But that's enough of that. We're not going to stand here talking about flower golems when we've barely just met. I'd like to chat with you too, Henry. Get to know you a bit. But if you're in a hurry to find Kreyzl's saltpeter, I won't keep you.
Let's talk.
No. I have plenty of time. But where to start?
You know what? I'll start. When they caught Zinek in Troskowitz, I was scared out of my mind that they'd catch me and clap me in the stocks. I had to hide out here for a while, so I haven't had anyone to talk to. Life in the Lair isn't all fun and games. Zinek and all the other mill knuckleheads were never worth much as company. So I'm glad the Millers finally found a normal hand for once. You've got a beautiful dog. What's his name?
Mutt.
What a cute fella. How did you find each other?
Among the wolves. Not a word of a lie. That is, I lost him and then found him again in a wolf pack.
Well, that's what I call an interesting past. I used to have a dog, but I don't anymore.
He died.
He started getting these lumps all over his body. He stopped eating, just slept all the time. And then, well, what's done is done. And what about you? What kind of family are you from? Also, thieves?
Let's see. Family of knights. Yeah, kind of. Family of thieves. Kind of. I mean, I kind of was family with the Miller, Teresa's uncle. Gonna go with, I don't know what to do. Let's say an educated family. This Radzik was educated.
It's not important where I come from, but where I belong. And I belong to the family of scholars. I seek out the company of clever people who have something to say.
Can't you tell my
Our
fancy
mission is
glasses?
to spread learning in this world.
You must be pretty excited about old Kreyzl's learned ramblings, then. What do you think of the old Miller, anyway?
Let's see. Yeah, we'll go with mystical.
He seems awfully mystical. He has lots of experience, like as if he's lived for hundreds of years.
It's his beard that does that. Don't let it fool you. Thanks for talking to me. It really is good to have someone to pour my heart out to. But now, about that saltpeter. Before you came, and before Zinek fucked up with the manuscript, we collected saltpeter all over the place, mainly in sties. It has to be scraped from the walls. Horrible work, time-consuming and annoying. I'm not going to lie to you. We also looked in a few chests, just in case. You know. Anyhow, now all the sties in the region are scraped clean and we're sitting pretty on a nice barrel of saltpeter.
Barrel is quite a lot.
For the whole Troskowitz region, aye. Unfortunately, Kreyzl said we need at least 6 times as much.
6 times? Will one saltpeter pit be enough?
I reckon so. There should be as much as Kreyzl needs for his masterwork. If you're looking for it, you ought to know how saltpeter forms. Do you have any idea?
Wow. Yeah, certainly do.
Certainly. You take a damp wall, like in a sty, you let the water evaporate from it, and you get this salty bloom.
That's right. But like I told you, All the sty walls in the region are scraped clean and we can't wait. Don't forget that saltpeter crystals are formed in places where something is rotting. It can be shit or carcasses. Well, a saltpeter pit is actually nothing more than a mass grave, the best natural saltpeter maker.
Kreyzl said saltpeter is a vessel for life energy. I get it that it's left over from dead bodies, but how do you get it from shit?
God's mysterious ways. You know how it is.
And he also wanted me to taste it. That's nonsense, though, isn't it?
Unfortunately, it isn't. Otherwise, you won't know if it's saltpeter or some other shit. It feels kind of cold on the tongue.
Jesus. And you know where to look for such a pit full of carcasses, do you?
Not exactly, but I have an idea. Times are evil and there's plenty of corpses. A person who's digging holes and throwing dead bodies into them and doesn't even know he's got a a saltpeter mine.
A knacker?
You mean a knacker?
Exactly. And the one we have here in the region is also the gravedigger.
Well, I haven't met him yet. Where can I find him?
The cemetery is beyond Troskowitz, towards the Apollonia rocks.
So I'm in for a walk to the cemetery.
Seems like it. Too bad you couldn't have walked around the county with us before. It was fun, and pretty useful experience. I learned a lot during that time, and I won't keep it to myself. I'd be happy to teach you something, if you want.
I'll keep that in mind.
That old gravedigger will be suspicious, so I'd bring him some kind of offering. He's always dragging those carcasses, so I'm sure he'd appreciate a slab of fresh meat from Troskowitz butcher.
Good idea.
He lives a short way from the cemetery, so at least the meat won't go bad on the way. Lots of luck, the poet.
Well, let's talk to her some more.
Why do you work for the miller?
Because he pays well and don't care how much coin I make on the side.
You mean by stealing?
And he doesn't ask any stupid questions.
What did you do before?
I got by any way I could. Believe it or not, I started in a convent.
You? A nun? Well, why not? I was in the cloisters myself for a while.
Oh well, different people have different fates. But we all ended up here anyway, in the armpit of the world.
What do you think about Kreyzl?
You're another one of those that don't know if they should love him or hate him, right? Kreyzl is his own man. Once you learn to get along with him, you can't help but admire him a bit. But sometimes he's unbearable as soon as he opens his mouth.
Tell me about it. Let's see. Can she teach me
I'd like
something?
to learn something.
And what would you like?
Oh, goodness. Yeah, no. Let's find out more about the mission here.
What do you know about the Troskowitz gravedigger?
He's a pretty tough old bird. He follows the rule, I'll treat you the way you treat me. And he appreciates when a fella's direct and open. But I probably wouldn't tell him everything about us.
So, Bonnie, the most honest girl I know, sent me. I'd like to see some dead animals as models for painting a church fresco. A scene from the apocalypse.
That might be a bit much, but you learn fast.
Tell me something more about Zinek.
He's dandy, that's for sure. But also a bit of a fool, to be honest. I don't care for Kreyzl's horseshit most of the time either. I do this job because it's fun, unlike Zinek. He does everything for his own good, doesn't give a damn about any greater cause or other people. Actually, he really pisses me off with his attitude. And he entertains himself by coming up with the stupidest nicknames for me. Dunger, for instance. What kind of a bloody awful name is Dunger?
Oh, lovely. And what does he call himself?
Scruffy. Or Jan, Nicholas, Franz, Peter, Jakub. The most bland, everyday names. He tries to be careful, but then he opens his big mouth and fucks it all up, just like in Troskowitz.
how was the saltpeter collection and tasting again? Sounds pretty disgusting.
It wasn't so bad. Zinek kept whining about it, but being a saltpeter collector, it has its benefits. When you go and clean someone's sty, they don't pay much attention to you and leave their purses and chests unattended. We made a pretty decent amount on the side.
What, by stealing?
Confiscating property for the greater glory of God. I hate the term stealing.
Just like Kreyzl.
This lady is funny. So what about the Lair?
What is this Lair place?
Kreyzl built a store so all them honest, curious people in the mill, the likes of Hensel, wouldn't have to worry their little heads about what we're doing here.
You mean behind that boarded-up door in the cliff?
We're definitely not doing anything there right now. Because of the mess in there. I told Zinek to clean it up. I think he wants to see if the place will get so rotten that saltpeter will bloom on the walls.
Okay. All right.
God be with you.
That was a lot. Let's talk to Zinek and see what he has to say now.
Why do you work for the Miller?
Well, how can I put it? Anywhere else, they'd have kicked me out by now. The Miller's the last person who'd still give me a job. He says every idiot is of some use at least.
And you see that as a compliment?
I see a coin in my hand every week. That's all I care about.
What did you do before you started working for the Miller?
A bit of this, a bit of that. When I was still a boy, I stirred lye at a tannery, and then I slaved away at a dye house. But since I came to the town, it's been, well, let's say not exactly honest work. But that's what I'm best at, see?
What do you think of Kreyzl?
Is this some kind of test or what? I can think what I want, and I keep my opinion to myself. And you ought to do the same.
Yeah, I don't like him.
Long time no see, eh?
Kreyzl gave you another job.
Yeah. I proved myself to him last time, so why not continue our collaboration?
Did you come here to make fun of me? Just like Bonnie? As soon as she showed up, she gave me hell over that manuscript.
No, not at all. I just need to find out something only you would know.
All right, cool. What do you think about Bonnie?
What can you tell me about Bonnie?
Well, you mean Cheeks or Jezebel?
Are those nicknames?
Dunger, Snowdrop, Vixen... We always come up with the stupidest names, and nobody sees through them anyway. Bonnie's been here the longest, and has the most experience. I'm surprised she still puts up with Kreyzl and his mad notions. And I think she likes animals more than people. When I try to talk to her about work or weather, she gets bored.
What do you know about the gravedigger?
Not much to know. He's half gravedigger and half knacker. He takes care of both dead people and animals.
I'd never have figured that out without your help. Anything more interesting?
He's my father. And he's a wizard, same as me.
Yeah, right.
It's true.
A wizard,
I was
Henry.
born the seventh son of a seventh son. I have the power of clairvoyance and I can raise the dead. I'm just
Really?
hiding out with the Miller until my time comes. I've been chosen to save the world.
Yeah, nice story. But if I'm going to get the Miller some saltpeter, I need to know something useful.
Oh, aye. You're not much fun, are you? The gravedigger's as boring as you are. Also, he knows when he's being lied to, and he hates it. So don't even try it.
You see? That's the kind of thing I wanted to know. Was that so hard?
Yeah. What about saltpeter?
So, Zinek, have you any experience with saltpeter?
Oh, I never want to see that shit again. I still have the taste of it in my mouth. And Bonnie and me was taking turns tasting it.
Weren't you afraid a dead soul would enter you through it?
What? What are you babbling about?
Dead souls pass time in niter crystals, don't they? That's why the Miller is looking for them. To bring the golem to life.
You fool. We're looking for saltpeter to sell to butchers for salting meat. There's good coin in it.
Well, the Miller told me something different.
You can't believe everything he says. A golem in the mill. He's yanking your pizzle.
You're all just trying to confuse me.
Kreyzl's a good teacher. You know how it is.
What sort of place is this?
Our secret place, where we can quietly plot sneaky plans for our beloved Miller.
Behind that boarded up door? What's inside that cliff?
You know, storage, rubbish, rats, filth. Look, I know Bonnie ordered me to clean up in there. Thanks to you, I'm sure the movement of goods will start again soon. So it'd probably be good to have some order around here. I just haven't got round to it yet.
Zinek, I have a few questions about the saltpeter pit we're looking for.
So now you need me, eh? See you soon, my friend.
Okay, got some info. I can't get in here.
What?
Got anything new? Oh. Alright, I was just looking. Okay, where are we going for this one? So, gravedigger is at C. And he likes sausage. Okay. Uh-huh. Yeah, mouse. Mouse is the way to go, because I can just do that. So it's up this way. Oh, that's not far. But I have to go through Troskowitz, which is just perfect. Alright. Well, I think we're going to do that next time. A little bit of a shorter episode today, but I got some real life work to do. So until next time, be good and don't be an idiot like this guy. And she is quite devious,
You remember
right?
that sweet thing from Slattigo?
Yeah, that's the 100th time you've asked today.
What do you think? Would he like to come here to us?
Don't you think we already took more from them than they expected?
I suppose.
May God grant you good health.
May God protect you.
Interesting. All right, yeah. So we'll call it an episode, and we'll pick it up from here next time. Go see the gravedigger and try to find the saltpeter pit. Until then, be good.